Hello and welcome. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that you are standing at the foot of the tallest mountain on Earth. The air is cool against your skin. A gentle breeze brushes past your cheeks, carrying with it the scent of snow, stone, and pine trees. In the distance, the mighty Mount Everest rises into the sky. Its white summit glows beneath the morning sun like a crown made of ice. The mountain is silent, yet somehow it seems to speak. It whispers of adventure, courage, and dreams that seem impossible. You take a slow, comfortable breath. The world around you grows quiet. Only the soft rustling of prayer flags and the distant ringing of yak bells remain. This is where our journey begins. For many people, climbing Mount Everest is more than reaching the highest point on Earth. It is a journey into the deepest parts of themselves. It is a test of patience, determination, and hope. Imagine yourself preparing for this great adventure. Weeks before the climb, you begin training your body. You walk long distances, you climb stairs until your legs ache. You carry a heavy backpack to strengthen your muscles. Some mornings, the sun has not yet risen when you begin your exercises. The air is cold, and your breath forms little clouds in front of you. At times, you wonder if you are strong enough. At times, you wonder if you should give up. But every dream asks something from us. Every mountain asks us to keep moving, even when the path becomes difficult. Eventually, the day arrives. You board an airplane and begin your journey to Nepal. As the plane flies across the sky, excitement and nervousness fill your heart. Far below, cities become tiny dots. Rivers twist through valleys like silver ribbons. You think about all the stories you have heard about Mount Everest. You think about the climbers who stood on its summit. You wonder if one day you will stand there too. After many hours of travel, you arrive in the bustling city of Kathmandu. The streets are alive with people. Motorcycles buzz past. Vendors sell colorful scarves and handmade crafts. Incense drifts from ancient temples. Everywhere you look, there is movement and life. Yet your thoughts remain fixed on one thing: the mountain. The next morning, you meet your climbing team. Some climbers are young. Some are older. Some have climbed many mountains before. Others are standing on the edge of their greatest adventure. Everyone smiles politely, but beneath those smiles is a shared feeling: respect. Because everyone understands how powerful Everest truly is. You check your equipment carefully. Your climbing boots, your thick gloves, your warm sleeping bag, your helmet, your ropes and harnesses. Every piece of equipment has a purpose. Every item may one day protect your life. As evening arrives, you look toward the northern horizon. Though Everest is still far away, you feel its presence. It waits patiently, silent, ancient, unmoved by human ambition. That night, sleep comes slowly. You think about the long journey ahead. You wonder what the mountain will teach you. Will it teach you courage, patience, humility? Perhaps all of these things. The following morning, a small airplane carries you toward the mountains. The flight is short but unforgettable. Outside the window, enormous snow-covered peaks rise from the earth. The mountains seem endless. Layer upon layer of white giants stretch across the horizon. Soon the plane lands at Lukla Airport, one of the most famous mountain airstrips in the world. The runway is short. The surrounding cliffs are steep. When the airplane stops, everyone applauds. You step outside. Immediately, the air feels different. Cooler, cleaner, quieter. You take another deep breath. This is the beginning of the trek to Everest Base Camp. The path winds through beautiful valleys and peaceful villages. Stone houses sit among green hills. Prayer wheels spin slowly in the breeze. Children wave and smile as climbers pass by. You hear the sound of distant rivers rushing over rocks. Birds sing among the trees. For a moment, it feels as though time itself has slowed. You walk carefully, step by step. The mountains seem to watch over you. As the day continues, suspension bridges appear ahead. They hang high above deep rivers. Colorful prayer flags flutter from every cable. You cross slowly. The bridge sways gently beneath your feet. Far below, water crashes against the rocks. You hold the ropes tightly and continue forward. Soon you reach a small village. The sun is beginning to set. Golden light covers the mountains. The peaks glow like fire. The sight is so beautiful that everyone stops to look. No one speaks. Some moments are too wonderful for words. Inside the tea house, you sit beside a warm stove. The smell of soup fills the room. Outside, the wind whispers softly through the valley. You sip a hot drink and feel grateful. The journey has only begun, yet already the mountain is changing you. It is teaching you to slow down, to notice small things. The warmth of a cup, the sound of the wind, the comfort of friendship. As night falls, countless stars appear above the Himalayas. The sky is clearer than you have ever seen. The Milky Way stretches across the darkness like a river of light. You step outside for one final look. The air is cold. The mountains are silent. Somewhere in the distance, hidden among those enormous peaks, stands Mount Everest, waiting, patient, timeless. Tomorrow, you will continue your climb toward the roof of the world. Good morning. The first rays of sunlight slowly spill across the mountains, painting the snowy peaks with shades of gold and pink. You wake to the soft sounds of the village coming to life. Somewhere nearby, a kettle whistles. A wooden door creaks open. You hear the distant tinkling of yak bells as animals begin their journey along the mountain trails. For a few moments, you remain in your sleeping bag, listening. The air is cold enough that you can see your breath. You pull on your warm clothes and step outside. The world is breathtaking. The mountains seem even larger this morning. Their snowy peaks rise high into the blue sky, and for a moment you feel very small. Yet there is something comforting about that feeling. The mountains remind you that there are things in this world much older and greater than ourselves. After breakfast, you shoulder your backpack and begin walking once more. The trail winds gently upward. At first, the path is easy. You pass small farms and stone walls. You cross streams where clear water rushes over smooth rocks. The air smells fresh and clean. Every breath feels like a gift. As the hours pass, the trail begins to climb. Your steps become slower. You learn an important lesson in the Himalayas. There is no need to rush. The mountain rewards patience. So you walk slowly, one step, another step, then another. The rhythm becomes almost like meditation. Your breathing matches your footsteps. The worries of everyday life begin to fade. There are no emails here, no traffic, no crowded stores. Only mountains, sky, and the simple act of walking. You begin to understand why so many people come here. They do not come only to climb. They come to remember what peace feels like. Eventually, you reach a beautiful village called Namche Bazaar. The village is built into the side of the mountain like an enormous staircase. Small shops line the narrow streets. Colorful prayer flags dance in the wind. Mountains surround the village in every direction. This is often called the gateway to Everest. Many climbers spend several days here to allow their bodies to adjust to the high altitude. At first, you do not notice much difference. But later, while climbing a short hill, you become breathless. Your heart beats faster. The air feels thinner. This is your first lesson in altitude. The higher you go, the less oxygen there is. Even simple tasks become difficult. Climbing stairs can feel like running. Carrying a backpack becomes tiring. The mountain is beginning to test you. During your rest day in Namche, you wake early and walk to a nearby viewpoint. The morning is clear. Suddenly, someone points toward the horizon. There it is. Your first glimpse of Mount Everest. At first, it seems almost unreal. The mountain rises among other giant peaks, its summit covered in snow and drifting clouds. You stand silently. The mountain you have dreamed about for so long is finally before you. A feeling of excitement fills your heart, but also something else. Respect. Perhaps even a little fear. Because you understand now how enormous Everest truly is. You spend several minutes simply staring at it. Then you continue your journey. The days pass one by one. You walk through forests filled with pine trees and rhododendrons. You cross rivers on long suspension bridges. You pass Buddhist monasteries where colorful prayer flags flutter in the breeze. Sometimes you hear monks chanting softly inside ancient temples. Their voices seem to blend with the wind itself. Everywhere you look, there is beauty. The mountains are not empty places. They are filled with life. Small birds fly among the trees. Yaks carry supplies along the trails. Tiny flowers bloom between rocks. Even in this harsh environment, life continues. As you climb higher, the landscape begins to change. The trees become fewer. The air grows colder. The mountains become sharper and more rugged. At night, the temperature drops below freezing. The stars shine brighter than ever. You wrap yourself in warm blankets and listen to the sound of the wind outside your tea house. Sometimes the wind howls like a distant song. Sometimes it is so quiet that you can hear your own heartbeat. On the fourth day of trekking, you reach the village of Tengbosch. A famous monastery sits on a hill overlooking the mountains. The view is incredible. Snow-covered peaks surround you on every side. Prayer flags stretch across the courtyard. You step inside the monastery. The room smells of incense. Golden statues shine softly in the candlelight. Monks chant ancient prayers. Their voices rise and fall like gentle waves. You sit quietly and listen. There is something peaceful about this place. something that makes the worries of the world seem very far away. Before leaving, you offer a silent prayer, a prayer for strength, a prayer for safety, a prayer for gratitude, because you already understand that this journey is a gift. As you continue climbing, your body begins to feel the effects of the altitude. You become tired more easily. Your appetite changes. Sometimes you wake during the night. Your breathing feels strange. Yet you keep moving forward. Slowly, patiently. The mountains teach you another lesson. Strength is not always about speed. Sometimes strength means taking one more step when you are tired. Sometimes it means resting when you need to. Sometimes it means asking for help. One afternoon, snow begins to fall. Tiny flakes drift gently from the sky. The mountains become silent. The world turns white. You pull your jacket tighter and continue walking. The snow crunches softly beneath your boots. There is something magical about walking through fresh snow. Everything feels peaceful, almost dreamlike. Eventually, you arrive in the village of Dingbosch. The village sits high in a wide valley surrounded by towering peaks. The nights here are cold, very cold. After sunset, the temperature drops quickly. You step outside and look at the sky. Thousands upon thousands of stars shine above you. You have never seen so many. The Milky Way stretches across the darkness like a river of diamonds. For a long time, you simply stand there, breathing, listening, feeling grateful to be alive. The next morning, your journey continues. Each day brings you closer to Everest Base Camp. The landscape now looks almost otherworldly. There are no forests, no green hills, only rock, ice, and snow. The mountains seem enormous, ancient, timeless. You walk beside glaciers that move so slowly that their motion cannot be seen. You hear strange cracking sounds coming from the ice. The mountain is alive, always changing, always moving. Finally, after many days of trekking, you reach a rocky trail covered with colorful prayer flags. Ahead of you stands a sign. Everest Base Camp. You have arrived. A smile spreads across your face. You did it. You made it here. Around you, climbers celebrate. Some take photographs. Some laugh. Some sit quietly and simply take in the moment. You choose to sit for a while. Before you lies the Khumbu Icefall, a frozen river of ice stretching toward the mountain. Beyond it rises Everest itself. Its summit is still incredibly far away, yet seeing it now fills you with wonder. The journey to the top has not even begun. Base camp is only the beginning. Tonight, you will sleep beneath the tallest mountain on Earth. The wind will whisper through the tents. The stars will shine overhead. And somewhere beyond the darkness, the summit of Everest will wait patiently, waiting for the day when you take your first steps toward the roof of the world. The night at Everest Base Camp is unlike any other. You lie quietly inside your sleeping bag. Outside, the wind moves gently through the camp, brushing against tents and carrying with it the soft sounds of distant ice shifting in the darkness. Somewhere nearby, a climber quietly unzips a tent. Someone else whispers. Then everything becomes still again. You open your tent and step outside. The air is cold and crisp. Above you, thousands of stars shine like tiny lanterns. The mountains are black shapes against the sky, their snowy peaks glowing beneath the moonlight. For a long moment, you simply stand there. You have traveled so far to reach this place. But now, the true climb begins. Over the next several days, you prepare carefully. The mountain demands patience. Climbers cannot simply walk to the summit. Your body must slowly adapt to the thin air. You climb higher, then return to base camp. You rest. You climb again. Each journey teaches your body how to survive in the extreme altitude. The days pass quietly. You drink hot tea. You organize your equipment. You listen to stories from other climbers. Some have attempted Everest before. Some are here for the first and perhaps only time. Everyone understands that this mountain deserves respect. Finally, the morning arrives. The weather is favorable. The winds are calm. Today, you will enter the Khumbu Icefall. You wake long before sunrise. The world is still dark. You put on your boots and heavy clothing. You clip your helmet into place. Your headlamp shines softly in the darkness. Around you, other climbers prepare in silence. No one speaks much. Everyone is focused. Everyone understands the importance of this moment. You take one slow, deep breath, then another, and the climb begins. The Khumbu Icefall is unlike anything you have ever seen. It is a frozen river of ice filled with giant blocks and deep crevasses. The ice rises and falls in strange shapes. Some pieces are as large as buildings. The entire glacier moves slowly every day. It groans and cracks as it shifts. The sounds echo through the darkness. You move carefully, one step at a time. At times, you climb over giant chunks of ice. At other times, you cross aluminum ladders placed over deep crevasses. You look down. The blue ice disappears into darkness. You cannot see the bottom. The ladder trembles slightly beneath your boots. You breathe slowly. One careful step, then another. Your heart beats steadily. When you reach the other side, you smile quietly to yourself. You have crossed. The first great challenge is behind you. As the sun begins to rise, the mountains around you glow with golden light. The beauty is almost impossible to describe. The snow sparkles like diamonds. The sky turns from black to deep blue. For a moment, you forget how tired you are. You simply stand and admire the world around you. Eventually, you reach Camp 1. Bright tents sit upon a wide field of snow. You remove your backpack and look back toward base camp far below. It seems very distant now. The air here is noticeably thinner. Even simple movements require effort. You rest. You drink warm water. You watch the clouds drift across the sky. The following day, you continue toward Camp 2. The valley between the camps is quiet and beautiful. Snow stretches endlessly before you. Towering peaks rise on every side. Sometimes you hear only the crunch of your boots. Sometimes there is complete silence. A silence so deep that it feels sacred. At Camp 2, you spend several nights resting. This camp becomes your temporary home. You eat simple meals. You sleep. You talk quietly with your teammates. You laugh together. You share stories. Little by little, strangers become friends. The mountain has a way of bringing people together. One evening, you step outside your tent. The sunset paints the mountains in shades of orange and pink. The air is perfectly still. The beauty of the moment fills your heart. You realize that reaching the summit is not the only reward. The journey itself is a treasure. The friendships, the quiet moments, the lessons learned. All of these things matter just as much. Soon, it is time to climb higher. You make your way toward Camp 3. The slope becomes steeper. You use fixed ropes to help pull yourself upward. Every step feels heavy. You breathe deeply. Step, breathe, step, breathe. At this altitude, there is far less oxygen than at sea level. Your body works hard for every breath. The mountain teaches you another lesson. Patience. There is no rushing here. Only steady progress. When you finally reach Camp 3, you feel exhausted. But you also feel proud. You have climbed farther than most people will ever go. You rest once again. Then you descend to lower camps to recover and wait for the perfect weather window. Days later, the call finally comes. The summit attempt will begin. Excitement fills the camp. So does nervousness. You check your equipment one final time. Your gloves, your boots, your oxygen system, your headlamp. Everything must be ready. The following night, you begin your final ascent. The darkness surrounds you. The beam from your headlamp illuminates only a few feet ahead. A long line of climbers slowly moves upward. Tiny lights stretch across the mountain like stars. The air is bitterly cold. Each breath creates little clouds that vanish into the darkness. Hour after hour, you continue climbing. Your legs grow tired. Your shoulders ache. But you keep moving. One step, then another. The sky slowly begins to brighten. A thin line of orange appears on the horizon. Dawn is coming. And then, at last, you reach the summit ridge. The world opens before you. Mountains stretch in every direction. Clouds drift far below. The sky is a deep, beautiful blue. You take a few final steps, and suddenly, there is nowhere higher to climb. You have reached the summit of Mount Everest. For a long time, you simply stand there. The tallest mountain on Earth lies beneath your feet. The world seems endless. You feel joy, gratitude, wonder, and perhaps a little disbelief. You think about every difficult step that brought you here. Every early morning, every moment of doubt, every challenge. They were all worth it. You close your eyes for a moment and let the cold wind touch your face. You breathe slowly. You listen to the silence. It is a silence unlike any other. A peaceful, timeless silence. Then you realize something important. The mountain did not change because you reached the summit. The mountain remains exactly as it has always been. But you have changed. You are stronger, more patient, more grateful. You understand now that every great journey teaches us something about ourselves. Sometimes the tallest mountains are not made of snow and rock. Sometimes they are the challenges inside our own hearts. And just like Everest, those mountains are climbed one step at a time. As you begin the journey back down, you take one last look at the world from the roof of the earth. The wind whispers softly. The sun shines brightly across the snow. And deep within your heart, you know that this moment will stay with you forever. The mountain will always be there, waiting, silent, ancient, timeless. And whenever you close your eyes and remember this journey, you will hear its gentle whisper once again.